Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the chance to present this paper in this conference. My topic is toward a legal framework for retirement villages in Malaysia, a doctrinal and comparative analysis. I am Dr. Mashitah Abdul Mutalib, a senior lecturer in Faculty of Sharia and Law, University of Science Islam Malaysia. So as introduction, we are going to be an elderly. We are going to be a senior citizens later, or we are now. Some of us may now already has been senior citizens. Aging gracefully is about finding beauty in every stage of life, from youth to old age. So we like to age gracefully to have a quality of life, even though when we are seniors. As introduction, the phenomenon of population aging is happening around the world, including Malaysia. So, according to the United Nations Aging Society categories, it is categorized as aging society if 7% of the total populations are 60 years and above. We will be considered as aged society when 14% is the total population of the elderly, and we're going to be super age society when 20% of the total population of the country are those who are aged 60 years or 60 years and above. So Malaysia right now is looking at Malaysia, according to 2024, we have 34.1 million, and so life expectancy is expanding. Uh, man is for men is 72.5 years, 72 years or 73 years, but for women it's going to be a 70 years. So this shows that there are going to be more elderly citizens in Malaysia in the near future. So we are going to be an old nation. We are expected to be in 2030, but recently in the RMK, it's announced that into 2043. But it doesn't matter. So it means that we are going to be an aged nation in the near future. So here is the total population. Right now we have quite 60 years above estimated at 3.9 million for the total population. Malaysia is about 3.9 million, right? So it's quite a lot for us to cater the needs of the elderly in our country. So, looking at the laws and policy on older persons in Malaysia or senior citizens or elderly, there is no specific act on senior citizens. We have, it is announced that there is a senior citizen bill that is to be read in the parliament. We already have national policy for older persons, but it's just policy, but it's not an act. For example, for a child, we have Child Act, for example, but not for senior citizens or elderly. We do have Private Healthcare Facility and Services Act, but this only governs private healthcare services, and we also have Care Centres Act, which regulates care facilities, for example, old folks' homes and etc. However, the issue we'd like to highlight here is that we do not have a specific measures or guidelines or even act to regulate retirement village in Malaysia. So, a retirement village, we would say that it is as a resilient platform for the elderly. It's not a foreign concept. It's a popular choice for older people in USA, in developed countries, in New Zealand, in Australia, and increasing popularity in the United Kingdom. So this is actually a lifestyle. They have independent living units. They have that they is staying there, and they are having quality activities there with those who are having who are at same age, right? So this is not should be differ from old folks home, rumah penjagaan. It's not the same, right? So family village is those for who like to for them to live in a better quality environment lifestyle, for them to experience active aging, positive aging, productive aging, and so on. So, and these in Malaysia is actually is coming up with the idea. For example, speaking during the tabling of budget 2025, our Prime Max said that the retirement fund QUAP will provide 300 million to enhance development of wakaf land, building independent retirement homes for low-income retirees. So this is a concept that is flourishing in Malaysia. See? However, although this is flourishing concept that accepting the society is accepting the concept right now, but the issue is the non-existence of any legal framework to govern the establishment of retirement village in Malaysia. So we don't have a specific. So if let's say you were to have operate a retirement village, what are the guidelines that would benefit actually the elderly or the residents there, but also the operators? But we don't have that yet, alright? So this research aims to analyze the salient features of retirement village in Malaysian legal landscape to develop a comprehensive legal framework for retirement village. So we are using a qualitative legal study, utilizing doctrinal research and content analysis. Right. So first of all, we would like to see what are the issues or legal issues surrounding a retirement village. So why we need law or rules to guide the development or the operation of retirement village. So we can actually learn from those who have been there. For Australia, they already have their own statutes. For New Zealand too, and also for UK, although they don't have specific statute, but they have rules to govern retirement village. So there are issues, some issues on concerning consumer protections. For example, the residents or the seniors are not aware of the true cost of living in retirement village. It's not just very straightforward. Some of the model using LTO, license to occupy, for example, if rental basic is quite straightforward, but if let's say they are using LTO, license to occupy, is quite confusing and need for some legal definition or legal explanation to the seniors. So because these sometimes include exit fees apart from the monthly services fees. Besides that, the vulnerable residents, because they are senior citizens, right? So they are also open for exploitation by the retirement village industry. That this has happened actually in Australia. So we would like to actually uphold the rights of elderly too. Right, so these what happened in Australia. This led to a call for regulations to reform in Australia. Other than that, uh, we already have the guidelines, garis panduan perancangan fizikal bagi warga emas for the facilities to be elderly friendly, for example. So we need guidelines as to the specifications needed in building retirement village. For example, they need a ramp, handrail, emergency button, and etc., which are more friendly to the senior citizens. Besides that, the land use classifications is another legal issues that should not be is set aside, right? As far as to the retirement village is concerned, there is no clear laws or regulations as to categorize retirement village under residential, commercial, or institutional, because there is yet actually a legal definition yet for retirement village in Malaysia. So is it actually like housing areas, or is it not? Is it residential, or is it commercial? Right. So these need to be scrutinized. So you can see that Australia already has retirement village act since 1999 or 96. They're having, according to the Queensland has their own, Victoria has their own, Western Australia has their own act. But basically they have their own statutes regulating retirement village act. We can see also New Zealand, which is coming up with they have Retirement Villages Act 2003, which is supplemented by the Villages Dispute Panel Regulation 2006. Right, so we can see that we can learn from these statutes and transplant according to our local circumstances. The United Kingdom, they don't have a specific statute like Australia and also New Zealand, but they have what we call as Care Act, which also give protection and also the need for the elderly. So this paper underlined that there are salient features of the village that need to be considered while regulating the village. First is the basic needs. So what are the basic needs of of the residents or the senior citizens, about their facilities? More, like I said just now, should be more senior citizens friendly. Uh, um, should have ramp, should have handrail, for example. And then next is a sustainability elements. This include on economic, environmental, and also social elements, also to be for the retirement village to be sustainable for a longer time. And a strategic location is also need to be considered, because location need to be, for example, they need to be near to their children, right? So because this is not all folks home, and then need to be need to amenities, basic amenities, hospital, clinics, or shops, stores. Okay, affordability, because some of the retirement village might cost a bit high. Maybe there are some 6,500 per month, for example. So how to cater those for low middle income, or M40 or B40, so that everyone would actually have the chance um, to have an affordable lifestyle in retirement village. And of course, social activities, they need activities, they need not just about learning sessions, but um, maybe for their hobbies, for example, gardening, and then having some tea time with their friends. The social activities are also important for them to age gracefully and to have positive aging, not just living alone in their units. Right, so looking at another elements or criteria of criteria, these has been outlined. What are the legal criteria that should be included in the village laws and regulation? Firstly is the management and administration. This is very important on how to operate the village. And secondly, on health, planning and safety. And of course, consumer protection. We do not want our residents or our elderly to be exploited, and also building guidelines. So these are the four legal criteria has been outlined to be included or regulated in the Retirement Village Act or statutes. So we propose for Malaysia Retirement Village a framework to have standards which are basic needs, sustainability agenda, location, affordability, and social activities. And these retirement village framework shall have uh, should come out from the basis outlined by the National Policy of Older Persons 2011. So we're going to have Retirement Village Act, and also we are supposed to have also Retirement Village regulations for the rules to be more specific. So basically, so this is doctrinal research and comparative, comparing to UK and also compared to Australia, New Zealand, and also UK. So we come up with the local standards that we would like to have for our Malaysia retirement village framework. So this is actually in line with the 12 Nation Plan, emphasize that the importance of creating a conducive environment for an aging society. We are already in aging society, and we are going to age nation later, so including establishment of retirement village. So we believe that this study will benefit the stakeholders, particularly the elderly, for them to have a more quality life, and of course for the country to prepare a proper avenue to encourage active aging among the elderly population, because it's mentioned that this idea may lessen the government burden in terms of cost for healthcare, hospitals and medication, as their health are being taken care at earlier stage. So we are talking about retirement village, is more towards independent living needs, where they are healthy, they're still healthy, so we are taking care of their health physically and mentally at the earlier stage. Next is about shall beneficial to law and policy makers to how to regulate, to make sure that we are not just talking about protection of the rights of elderly. Yeah, of course that will be our aim, our main aim, but of course to also invite more developers to endeavor in this project for the benefit of the elderly and on the country. And the growing awareness of the concept shall also be flourished. So people would know, oh, this retirement village is not actually all folks' homes. It's actually a lifestyle that would actually provide alternative for the elderly to have a more quality life in their senior years. Right. As a closing, to highlight a hadith, no young man respects and honors someone who is old, but Allah will determine for him another person who will respect him later when he reaches old age. So when we are quite young now, so we are actually putting effort to have a better um, avenue for our elderly citizens, in hope that inshallah we will, when we are going to be senior citizens later, we are going to have a better environment, or venues or platform for the elderly populations in Malaysia. With that, I thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.